guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Why Did Nobody Tell Me About This? Well, I don't know, there's a great number of things people don't know. I have no idea what this relates to, so I don't know, let's get to it. So let's check it out and comment, like and subscribe. What? People swimming in the river?
Yeah, I don't think I'd swim in that.
I'm a little confused. And by a little, I mean a lot. Okay, this is Germany, right?
I am someone who likes to follow the rules, especially when visiting a new country.
That's
Now,
yes,
first time I came to Germany, this thing, well, it confused me a little bit. Now I get it, I'm not a Burke. I knew that one of these was for bicycles and the other one was for people.
Yeah, it was
However,
confusing.
at the time, it was raining, there were no bikes out, and I was afraid to be in the wrong lane. Now, one of my good German friends explained this to me. It goes...
The wrong lane? I mean, the smaller one, it's for bicycles, right?
Slow, faster, fastest. In fact, something interesting I've noticed here is that people will block the sidewalk before they block a bike lane. This is an important distinction to make because, strangely, people use bikes here not just for fitness, but actually to get around.
Yes.
I don't know why they don't just buy cars.
But it's weird that, I don't know, they're blocking the pedestrians, so what? They're in the upper echelon, so I don't know, if you have a bike, then I know you have a higher, I don't know, standard. The pedestrians are basically the mug on your shoe. That's actually bad.
What caught me off guard here was how to actually properly use the U-Bahn subway. I'll show you what I mean. As you can probably tell, there's no gates here to get in, which is unlike pretty much every other city I have ever been to.
Oh, well, yes, you know, that didn't bring it up. It's true, but I hadn't actually thought of this. Oh my, that looks good. It's a beautiful summer day.
Drink outside here.
Oh, right, it's alcohol. I absolutely forgot. Yes, you can't actually sort of go around and be public drinking, but apparently there you can. I didn't know that, actually. Because you're sort of walking with your beer and it's fine, right? I think it's different if you're in a park.
Still easily one of the most surprising things that I enjoy living here in Europe. Just being able to enjoy a beer outside. This is something, the first time I came here, I wasn't expecting. You'll see people drinking beer on the street.
Oh.
On the U-Bahn, on the S-Bahn.
Oh.
Pretty much wherever.
Oh, really?
I actually made a whole video about my thoughts on German drinking culture, so I'll leave a link to that somewhere.
Oh my god.
But suffice to say, yes, it's okay to drink outside.
Okay, so no one's going to arrest you.
With some caveats.
Okay, what are the caveats?
Don't throw it out.
Yeah, you have to recycle it, right?
Just leave it next to the trash can,
What?
and someone will probably come by and pick it up and return the fan, which right now is about like 8 cents.
Oh, I thought that was wrong. I was, oh my god, someone's gonna be like, don't be a loiter. What are you doing? Just recycle it. You can just leave it there and it's fine. That's expected. Okay. I feel a little as if I don't know, I'm putting my trash everywhere, but apparently it isn't. It's fine.
Not sure why the whole paid bathroom thing irks me quite so much, but
Oh, really?
let's just say I only use it if it's an emergency.
I can see. I mean, it's obviously it's different because obviously in the US you just go. It's a public restroom. I understand. Well, I don't know if I understand, but I think I get it. I don't know if it would irk me. It doesn't irk me that much. I don't think I'm that bothered. Although it is kind of maybe a little strange, right? It is a little weird. Okay. It's just dangerous what's happening now. People are just, oh my god. And is this a river? What is this?
Yeah, I don't
They're
think it's doing
surfing.
that. Now, this last thing I need to talk about. It's very
First of all, I want to know what was this place. I'm not guessing. It probably wasn't dirty or anything. Still, what is it?
shameful. First time I came, well, I didn't really understand quite how seriously Germans took Cheers.
Wait, what? Okay, I'm gonna go back. I don't think I got
How
that.
seriously Germans took Cheers.
Oh.
How many times have you been to Germany before you moved here?
Once.
Oh,
Oh.
only once.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Because I was visiting a friend in Luxembourg, and then we traveled over the border to Germany, and then later in Munich, like a year ago or something, for 4 days, and then I moved here.
Okay. Wow.
Oh my.
4 days. That's pretty good.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. I mean, it took me, I think 2 trips, and then I wanted to move here.
Yeah. I think for me it was quite spontaneous, and then it kind of happened, and then it was happening, and then I was here.
Yeah. Next time you realize you're living
So
there.
the first time I came here, I knew, like, I wasn't stupid. I knew that there are cycle paths and there are sidewalks and there are different things, but I didn't know which one was which. And I could see the difference in the pavement, but I never knew what side to stand on.
The bigger one.
Yeah, that was.
If you're
Did you have that problem?
pedestrian.
I think not a bit, like not knowing when people were coming, and then suddenly there's a bike coming past, and you're like, what the?
Ah.
I guess people that are new to Germany and they don't realize what bike lanes are, and then bikes will come streaming past, like,
Yeah.
ding, 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 and they're like, ah!
It's also been surprising since I've been here that people ride their bikes all year. Winter, rain,
Oh, really?
sun, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I rode my bike during like the winter when it was properly snowy,
Oh my
kind
God.
of icy snow on the roads, and it was actually kind
Awful.
of dangerous, I think.
Yes.
Another thing that didn't really surprise me, but I've heard other Germans complain about it, is like cash. Did that like catch you off guard at all?
What's up with the
Yeah,
cash?
and then also this weird thing with the EC-Karte.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's like in some shops you can only pay with this specific card, which is only from some German banks, and you can't pay
What?
with like a normal like debit card or credit card.
I think I know what you mean. I think I experienced this
What?
literally last week. I was at a store and they had a card machine. I tried to pay with the card and they're like, oh, no Visa. So I put out a MasterCard and that didn't work either. And then I just
What?
gave up and paid cash. But they had a card machine and the person from me paid with a card, so I didn't know what was going on.
Probably
What?
they paid with an EC-Karte thingy. That's why I always have cash at hand, because you
That's
never
so
know when
strange
you
to me.
might have to use
Well,
it.
you also need cash because I've also found it very strange here that many places you need to pay to use the restroom. Even in restaurants. Even restaurants we're already paying for a meal.
Oh.
Yeah. You haven't seen that?
Wait, yeah.
They have, like-
I thought it was only in public restrooms, but if you're actually at an establishment, you're not supposed to pay. What? I'm already eating here or having a drink or whatever.
The toilet person.
That's the other thing in restaurants.
Oh, okay, he
not
means
being able
that.
to get like free tap water here.
Oh yeah.
Like in the UK, if you're in any restaurant, you can just ask, oh, could I just have a glass of water or something? Here, I've actually had it before where I went in a restaurant and I was sitting there and I asked if I could have tap water, and they said no.
The last thing that I think really surprised me, the first.
Yeah, if it's tap water, it should be free, right? If it's bottled water, of course, they should charge you. Yes.
The first few times I was here, which I didn't really understand was the proper way to cheers. And that Germans take it. At least the Germans I met seem to take it pretty seriously. I don't know if they're like joking with me or if they're actually like quite serious about it, but I feel like there's a lot of superstitions here that people are. I think they adhere to pretty
Oh.
seriously, like wishing someone a happy birthday before their actual birthday.
That's bad.
It seems to be a big
Negative.
no-no.
Yes.
Have you seen any other interesting
It is.
superstitions that caught you by surprise that Germans seem to follow?
I mean, sticking to the rules very firmly. Like
well-
not walking on the cycle lane or something, or
You're gonna get
like-
arrested.
Not walking on red signal.
Yeah,
Even
for
when no one's
example.
around.
For example.
Yeah.
Well, we'll cheers one more time to make sure we do this right.
Okay, this was very funny. I think what's surprising to me is they were surprised about, oh, you have to follow the rules, which that's the baseline. I mean, you should think so. Yes, of course you should follow the rules. I mean, as a general rule, being redundant, yes, you should follow the rules no matter where you are, even in your home country. That's how it should be, because again, if we're not, that's how society, it's a working society, it's a normal society, but people should follow rules. Rules are there for a reason. Sometimes there are dumb rules, and I understand that completely, and there's really stupid laws, which I agree. However, as a general, again, being a little bit overly, I don't know, cautious and generous at the same time, let's assume a lot of these rules are in place, not the stupidest kind of rules. Let's assume most of the rules and most of the laws are there in, for to people, to avoid accidents, to make life a little bit more, I don't know, maybe easier, and to make living with each other a little bit easier. So again, as a general rule, you should definitely follow, whatever it is, which country you are, you should definitely follow them. Not because you're afraid of I don't know, of getting, oh my God, someone's going to come arrest me, I'm going to get a fine, or someone's going to get mad at me and is going to start, yelling at me. Again, as a, you don't want those things. So you should definitely, again, because it improves, everyone's quality, everyone's sort of life quality. So you should follow, because it's sort of a societal rule, not so much as that, again, a lot of these are being enforced by the actual law, but a lot of these things I see more as it makes living with each other a little bit easier. So again, I'm surprised that they're so shocked that you need to follow the rules, because that's how it should be, right? You would think. I think, like, especially in this kind of basic type of rules, I'm not talking about the really specific ones, which is, which I can, you can argue a little bit more. Oh, but come on. No, the ones about the cycling lane, those are really funny, because I think I'd be very scared. Like she mentioned, you're sort of standing there. You don't really realize, oh my God, is this a bike lane? And then, someone comes at you, and it's going to, the people on bicycles are a little intimidating to me, because I feel, again, maybe it's because they feel, sometimes, not always, but I think sometimes, from what I could see, a lot of people feel as if they're kings of the road. And again, I get it. I think you as a pedestrian are sort of, again, I just mentioned it, you're sort of the lower in the food chain. You're just the lowest, because you're there, you're sort of not surrounded by anything. Even with a car, you're sort of in the car and you're sort of driving something. And when you have a bicycle, you're also sort of, you have to ride it, and you have to maintain, and you have to control it. When you're a pedestrian, it's just me. It's just my body. That's it. So I think that's why a lot of it, you're sort of, again, in the lower of the lowest of the food chain. That's, pedestrians, because they don't really have anything. They don't have anything to go and, to protect. You're just walking there, and you're just sort of unprotected there. You're a crab without its shell. And it shouldn't be, but I think a lot of people feel, again, whether that's, they're driving a car, they're riding a bicycle, whatever it is, it seems as if they feel a little bit more superior. Again, not always, but I feel sometimes it comes a little bit, unconsciously. So they feel a little bit more as, oh, I'm higher, because again, I have my thing, whether that is, I have some sort of vehicle. So you feel a little bit more superior to the person that's just walking around with nothing. So they feel as if, oh, you should bend over to, because again, you're sort of lower than me, so I should have, the advantage here, and I should have the right of way. I should have, all the other advantages, which again, I know it's not always the case, and I know there's less way, you have traffic laws, and it's not always the case, but I think I'm sensing it's just a vibe thing. It's not necessarily a law thing. It's more about vibes, that I think a lot of people also feel like that. And again, sometimes it doesn't really happen consciously, but I know that subconsciously, a lot of people do this as if, oh, well, I'm riding my bicycle, so you should move over. Not me, because I'm the one that sort of, I can crush you over. So of course, if you're a pedestrian as well, of course you're going to be sort of, oh my God, yeah, sure, go ahead. Because like she said, they're honking their little, well, they're not honking, they don't have, it's a horn, it's a bell, it's whatever, but they're telling you, they're basically yelling at you to move out of the way. And you of course have to move, because yes, I'm getting run over by a bike, which is not obviously a pleasant thing. And because you're unprotected, you're kind of, oh my God, yeah, sure, I'll move. But of course I can see it from the opposite, sort of, to play devil's advocate. Of course, they're, the one that's riding their bicycle, is going to probably say, yes, that's why I have a lane, and that's why you're walking in the opposite lane. You have to walk, obviously, in the pedestrian lane, and you should, because again, it's not really my fault, technically. I don't know if you get into an accident and you sue them, I don't know who technically would win this. Obviously, I do not know how many people are sort of suing each other. Probably that's not really a thing. That's a very American thing, probably. Though I'm going to sue you over because you ran over me. Probably it's a little bit less common, which I would guess, right? Again, I'm not sure, but I would guess there's probably less lawsuits with that variety. But again, you're obviously you're not gonna win that one because again, you're the one walking where you're not supposed to walk. So again, best to just walk in the pedestrian lane because again, in the sidewalk, it's not a pedestrian lane, it's a sidewalk. It's not as if you're not a horse. Yes, it's sort of just go into sidewalk. But again, because it's more about concern, I'm concerned for my safety and not so much as if I'm following the rules or I'm going to get sued. Because again, you would be the one that's suing the other person, right? I would assume because again, you're the one that's getting ran over by said bicycle. So as a general rule, yes, make sure that you're standing in the right and you're walking in the right place. Just because it's quite a scary thing. And that's just one bike. Even if imagine having I don't know 5 or more bikes just coming at you. It's a scary thing. It's oh my god, no. Yeah, sure, I'm moving out of the way. So again, it's for your own safety. Trust me on this. The other, it's really funny. I have to pay for the bathroom. He's so mad about this. I can see. I mean, if you're not used to this, I can see why you would feel kind of entitled. I think it's more, and maybe that's the European. Europeans probably think this way. Oh my god, you're so entitled to think you can just use the bathroom, right, without paying. And I mean, it's not necessarily about that, but I think it's just, oh my god, would you really? And I think that also goes along with the water thing, because it's more as if, oh my god, you would deny someone a glass of tap water, you would deny someone the right to use a bathroom. And I get it. This is not, you're not, well, even in this case, this isn't, the 1800s anymore. It's not as if, if someone knocks on your door and asks you for a glass of water or, hey, can I use your bathroom? If it's a stranger, obviously, that doesn't really happen. No one's going to knock on your door because, again, this is in, the 1800s, which I would believe those, it was more common around that time period of, everyone was friendlier with strangers. But again, the thing it's about, I know, hospitality. And again, if someone, asks you for something, again, as a glass of water, it's tap water, it's free. Well, I know it's not free, but let's say, yes, it's free for argument's sake. It doesn't really cost you anything. Or use your bathroom. It's, yes, of course, it's human, sort of, we're all humans, and it's more about, again, being not generous. It's just the basic of human decency. You would go, yes, sure, of course, use my bathroom. So I kind of get why you would feel so, so upset about this, because oh my god, would you deny me a glass of tap water? Even though, again, it's a restaurant, so of course the situation is a little bit different. It's not someone just sort of knocking on your door. But I get where this is coming from, because that's the same sort of, in spirit, it's the same thing. Would you really deny me this? It costs you nothing. It's just human decency. Again, I'm dying of thirst here. Of course you're gonna be, well, that's why you should pay for the bottled water. But what happens if, well, I don't care for bottled water, whatever, just give me tap water. So I can see why people are a little bit upset, because I know this is coming from that place. The one about the public restrooms, I think it's a little bit more different, just because, well, again, if it's a public thing, and again, it's not your house, you need someone, someone needs to maintain said bathroom. So of course you need to pay them. I guess that's, again, that's where the logic comes from. I think I actually haven't looked up why that's done. I just know it's done. I've always known that you have to pay for your bathroom. That's it. In Europe, that's how it goes. I don't really know how, how it came to be, but to me, it's a normal thing. But just because maybe I've been aware of this forever. So I don't know. No, it's just sort of, I know it's not that shocking to me. But I know that for some people, it can be quite of a, of course, if you're not used to it, you don't know that that's being done there. Yes, it can be quite of a culture shock, just because you're, oh my god, I have to pay to use the bathroom. Although I will say, the one that's really tripping me is the one, no, but if you're already in said place, in an establishment, you have to pay as well. What do you mean? What, do they have a little, what? Or I didn't really understand, or it was just about I don't know if that's being done anymore. in fancier places in which you have the person and you have to, the towel. I mean, not the towels. Well, I think it was the towels. I don't know. There's someone in the bathroom and you have to tip them or something. But I don't even know. I can't remember when was the last time that I saw that. I don't think I've seen that for ages. So maybe it's not about that. But I think I would be very shocked if no, you literally have to pay here if I'm eating at a restaurant and I'm going to use the bathroom. I have to pay extra. That's really strange. I think that's where I would cross. This is a line that I won't cross. Well, you're there already, but I would be quite weirded out by the whole thing because again, I'm in said place. I'm consuming food or I'm consuming drinks. I'm here. I'm paying you. So I don't know. Add whatever the bathroom costs. Add it to the bill. I don't know. Add it to whatever cost, operational cost, because I don't want to feel as if no, I'm already eating here and then I have to pay for the bathroom. That's strange, right? I think. Again, maybe I have to think more about this, but I think it's again, it's kind of weird. The other, I love that it's the fact, you can have a beer. Well, I would guess beer, wine, whatever. Obviously, you're not gonna go having like hard liquor just in the middle of the street. I would assume, right? Because that's strange. It's not as if you're not gonna eat. You're not gonna drink, I don't know, a scotch right out of the, I don't know, I'm having my glass. No, that's not really, unless of course someone has a problem, a drinking problem. So it's always beer, I would assume. But I don't know if the laws are beer. I think beer and wine are the most common because I hadn't made the connection of, oh my God, yes, of course it's legal there. Because in the US, of course you couldn't just, oh yeah, I'm having my beer and or my wine, although maybe wine's a little bit different just because you're not literally with a wine bottle just sort of drinking it and you're not doing that unless you're in a picnic, you're in a park, or you're having sort of, it's nice outside and you have a glass of wine, and again it's more of a picnic related activity that you're in the park. You're not sort of walking down the street or in the subway or in the bus. Can you drink at the bus or in the public transportation system? That would be strange to me. I mean, you're not the one driving, right? But that's strange. It's, oh my God, can you just wait until you get whatever it is you're going? Although, on the opposite, again, playing devil's advocate, I can see why if it's a really hot day outside and you just want a beer and you're walking, it's sort of, I'm drinking my beer as I'm walking. Like, it's fine, right? I think I'm not gonna get arrested. I think that's okay. I don't think people are gonna look at you as, oh my God, is this person having a drink? No, I don't think it's weird. I wouldn't think it's weird, but I think it's more about specific circumstances of, it's really hot. People are having a beer outside because again, it's really hot. But again, maybe I think they have a different mindset. I don't think, because Germans love their beer, so it doesn't really matter. Do they have drinks? Do they have beers in the middle of the winter? You're outside in the winter and instead of drinking coffee, you have a beer? That's a little strange to me, but maybe to them it isn't. I do not know, but I hadn't actually thought of the fact, oh yeah, it's kind of normal over there. I see it as something so natural, just because you're in Europe. But yes, that's the thing, right? I see it as natural because no one's going to be looking at you strangely, or no one's coming to arrest you. And of course, you couldn't do that in the US because, yes, people are going to look at you either very weirdly or they're going to call the cops because, again, it's illegal for you to be public drinking in a city. So, oh, yes, I hadn't actually thought of this. It's illegal and, yes, whatever. And the other thing that was really, I didn't really understand what was happening was when they were in a river. I get, it wasn't even a river. Was it a canal? I'm very confused about the situation. He seemed weirded out, so I'm going to assume it's not that normal, but people seem to be having a really normal day outside, so apparently to them it's normal. Actually, I also do not know what city this was. I don't think I got that. They were actually surfing inside river, which is, I don't know if it's a river, I don't know. It had waves, right? But what? So people are just sort of, because in a lake, I think it's different. You can swim in a lake. I think that's normal. But in a river, that's sort of, I don't know, it's just strange to me. And I'm going to call it a river, but I'm not sure it was a river. It even had some, it had a fence. So I'm confused. How come people are swimming there? Where exactly are you swimming? And is it normal? Again, it's really hot outside, but that doesn't really, don't they have sort of fountains or some sort of lake? No, you have to go there. Is it clean? That would be my first question. Is it clean water? I would assume, right? People are, swimming there. but it wasn't swimming. I think it was more of a summer activity because they were sort of being, I don't know, they didn't really have rafts, but it was more of stuff, yeah, I'm getting pulled over by the current, and that's the fun part, instead of actually, you're doing actual swimming. But what is that? I'm so confused about it. I'm confused. He was confused, and there's no answer. So I would love to know. But that's it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.